So, who is Ria Garas? Well, Ria, or Ria, mostly known for his animations and art, but he is more infamously known for self-admitting to pedophilia. I'll go over the screenshots and proof where he had admitted to it.
Sexually attached to friends, but I'm being medicated to try not to touch minors.
Here's a screenshot where Ria says, and I quote, "One of my personalities is a pedophile, but he wishes to not touch minors." Now, what he means by this is that he suffers from DID. And for those who do not know what DID is, it's dissociative identity disorder. Now, one would think if you're in Ria's case or Ria's case, one would think that, hey, maybe I shouldn't befriend a minor when I'm a self-admitted pedophile and taking medications to not touch minors. Do you know what Ria had to say to that? Hell to the fucking no! He wanted to keep befriending those minors. I'll leave a few links in the descriptions about a couple of other videos that go over, mainly the same topics about him befriending a minor, drawing the, weird and disturbing art that he enjoys. Now let's get started with the actual main topics of this video that I want to be going over. Topic number 1, the sexualization of nuns and priests. I don't think a lot of people really know about his comic unless you really deep dive into his profile. You can find it on his card, but I suggest not doing that because he allows all of his explicit material on card as well. Despite this comic having almost 90k views, this comic is pretty bad within writing and art style-wise, to be honest. It just seems rushed and lazy, but that's not what I'm here to criticize about. I'm here to talk about the fact that he sexualized a nun and a priest in this comic. Like, yeah, the characters are his. He has free will. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to his characters, but if he's claiming to be a Christian and follows the Christian religion, but then he goes and sexualizes a nun and draws a priest and a nun having sex with each other. Yeah, that's a little bit gross and kind of against what nuns and priests do. So as a former Christian myself, this raised my fucking eyebrows. I was side-eyeing my phone this whole entire time as I was reading this comic to even gather all this proof. But then I find it a little hypocritical because in the comic he mentions that Adam says, but murder is a sin. You know what else is a sin? Being a pedophile. You want to know what else is a sin? Adultery. Oh, but it's completely okay for Ria to do that. I'll have to find the tweet again, but I think Ria claimed that Adam is one of his altars. I'll have to find it again. I'm not sure unless I'm getting two of his other altars completely mixed up with one another. But however, there's a slight connection between Ria's violence and Adam's violence, because both of them are purely out of sexual desire. Now I'll get on with the second point, the zoophilia and bestiality. Well, it's pretty obvious. He's drawn in, has promoted it on his Ko-fi and Patreon several times, I believe. I'll have to check again and edit. Actually, I found it right here. It was from one of my community tabs, but he tried promoting it on one of his profiles publicly, just so he could get more money. Not to mention about the time when I found out that he follows a zoophile on Twitter. And they draw realistic cat genitals and actually takes pictures of their cats behind and their lower region. Yeah, and I'm not going to show that because I'm not going to show you guys that because I traumatized myself by that. The last point that is literally going to be the whole entire video at this point is the people that he follows. Yes, that doesn't really conclude the zoophile that I mentioned earlier, but it would conclude two other friends of his. Both of them has blocked me, by the way, because I spoke up about them following him, and they're aware that he is a pedophile. One of his friends was following the 16-year-old that I've tried to console in comments before, that I've seen in Ria's comment sections before he keeps deleting the comments and goes back onto turning off his comments. However, I go onto Twitter and ask them personally through their comments, why are they following a minor on a explicit account? And then they go and reply, because she was drawing an SFW. Not care what the other person is doing. Hey, buddy, you don't just follow a minor on an explicit account because you're posting gore and porn about minors and other things. And then after I reply with, all you're doing is exposing this child to more topics they shouldn't even be introduced of until in adult stages of life. It doesn't help that they're also a grooming victim as well. So, unfortunately, yes, this 16-year-old is also a grooming victim. Then their dumbass decides to go, so what? I don't care about your opinion. So what? hang on. So what? You're endangering the minor to possible chances of getting groomed again. And it's like, you don't care? You don't care about this child's safety? You realize how predatory that sounds. Because it is predatory. But no, here they go again, trying to be the fucking brightest light bulb in the fucking shed. They're like, correction, I don't care about you. I've got my own shit to deal with. Leave me alone. Excuse me, I'll leave you alone when you leave this child alone and stop fucking grooming them into thinking that this shit's okay to do. It doesn't help that you're following a pedophile and you're acting as a predator towards a minor, and then you're like, oh yeah, she drew porn, so I'm allowed to follow this child because she drew it. No. That doesn't give you the right to follow them. That just means that you're a pedophile. That just means that you want to prey on a child. But then, I believe in January 2024, Ria was like, minors, get the fuck away, leave me alone. But wait, it gets better. Buddy, you're following several minors and you've been obsessed with minors and you have a sexual desire towards minors and you've been on a medication to not touch minors. But you want to tell minors to leave you alone and get away from your account? Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense now, does it? But wait, it gets even better, guys. Take 2 fucking brain cells, alright? Take 2 of them and think real hard, okay? Just think with all your might. His artwork and animations are aimed for 15+ audience. Oh my god, and what do you guys get from that? Children. Oh my god, it doesn't take a fucking evil genius to figure this out. Anyways, those are the main points that I wanted to get fully across and off my chest because I'm sick and I'm tired of being sick. And I'm also looking at archive posts to solve out more deep dive about this disgusting degenerate. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.